Now, of course, very cock-a-hoop and playing very hard and well. But Hull Kingston, with all the galaxy of talent about, always at any moment likely to score. I got a way out of it. A nice pass, but it's a knock-on. Waiting for advantage. Mike Smith. The scrums in the first half, Wigan 4, Hull Kingston 6, and penalties, Wigan 5, Hull Kingston 3. And Casey has had the yellow card shown to him. And that is the number 3, Mike Smith. 5 tries this season. First try was after 10 minutes. Hartley, Steve Hartley. 3 dummies, perfectly given and taken by the opposition. The dummy on Len Casey. Ray Holstock, the blonde. The road to Wembley starts this weekend. Good tackle. Bill Hogan and Campbell. New Zealander, by the way. Oh, well taken. Bit lucky, really, I suppose. Mike Smith, the crowd didn't like, but the referee was on the job. Lockwood, loose forward Casey. And, of course, the man of many talents, Clive Sullivan, veteran almost. Remember that great try scored in the World Cup in Lyon. Millward, Hartley, and the 6th tackle. Well, I told you how the first try, and then Fairbairn got into the goal-kicking stakes, and they kicked 3 goals to make it 6-3 to put Wigan in front, and then from a Millward pass, Hartley got a very good try, 6-6, and you saw the brilliance that was coming out of the players in the 3 tries shown to you. Trevor Stockley was a good one to regain the lead. Teams who have never won the Rugby League Cup in Rugby League at the moment, Blackpool, Bramley, Doncaster, Hull Chaos, are they're after something today, Highton, Keighley, Whitehaven and York. They have been to Wembley, of course, of Hull Kingston Rovers, but not won the Cup. And Wigan have the most final appearances. And Fred Lindop, one of our leading referees. Nice dummy. Sure, a lot of people on the Humber side now will be looking at this with bated breath and cheering or just moaning, whatever. Could be something from the big fella, Roy Holstock. Lockwood. Nice short pass, a long one. Taken to Clive Sullivan, and Clive Sullivan puts it down with 4 minutes gone. His 13th try of the season. Looks a very happy man. I'm sure he is. 11-11. Well, it was created with pushing the ball along the line, a long pass that cut out 2 defenders, and the last defender couldn't get in time to Sullivan, who banged the ball down. 11-11. Clive Sullivan. Welshman. And it's a long kick, is this one? Steve Hubbard to kick. 86 goals before today. 1 today. That's the angle. And the official end. Dressing rooms at Central Park here. It's a good kick, but doesn't get near enough to get anything, and so 11-11. We couldn't have it closer than that with 5 minutes gone. 3 tries to 1. Last time that Hull Kingston was in the final in 1964 against Widnes, and they lost 13-5. So it's a bogey on the Humber side as far as Wembley is concerned. And Wigan won the Cup 7 times in 1965, the last when they beat Hunslet in that memorable match, 20 points to 16. That was match in film was sent out to America and a great success. Big Ray Holstock. Then Casey. £35,000 it cost to go to Hull-Kingston. Referee Philpott was on the job, good referee. One of the few referees who seems to be able to manage even in France. At least in satisfying them. Phil Lowe, being at grievance with the club, but whether it's all settled or not, I don't know, but at least he's playing. Oh, good pass to Mike Smith. Might have turned outside. It was taken by winger Jim Hornby. Might have taken the ball outside, but didn't. But at least created a little bit more position. And the forwards come up. Ness Flowers, who comes from Wales, a new boy, just started this season against Roger Millward, probably the most experienced player on the side, so it's, I won't say a young and an old one, but I will say an experienced one and an inexperienced one. Hubbard, 11-11. 7 minutes gone, and the crowd, quite a lot from Hull-Kingston Rovers. The experience and strength of the LKR might prove the damage. Oh, Alan Lockwood almost went on his own. Brian Lockwood playing the ball back, using the big fella, but the defending grimly. Wigan defending grimly. Oh, the opening's there. The opening looked to be. Got the pass in. Glenn Casey to Phil Lowe, and that is Phil Lowe taking the last pass, scoring the try. Wigan 11, out Kingston Rovers 14, and no doubt Casey between them. Came to the left and then switched. Casey switched to the move, and then he goes over, takes the pass, and Phil Lowe scores the try. Phil Lowe back in harmony, I would imagine now, with the club. Straight kick. How about kicking? How about? And yes, 16 points to 11. 9 minutes gone and 2 tries in the 4th and the 8th minute of this second half. And coming on is John Millington. What's Brian Lockwood gone up? Brian Lockwood's been in the wars. So Millington comes on with a score 11-16, Kingston 16. And after a very misty morning and a wet early afternoon, the ground's standing up well. Mr. Mitchell, the groundsman, takes a lot of pride in this ground. He's certainly one of the great grounds in rugby league. But the tenseness and the hardness and the toughness is not going to be let up at all. Ten minutes gone. Wigan 11, Hull Kingston 16. 4 tries to 1, and yet there's only 5 points the difference. The margin just shows. Big Philo and lively Clive Sullivan. And the referee giving plenty of room for the hard tackle, but was standing over it to make sure there was nothing wrong about it. And Ed Lindop doing a good job in this match. Breakaway, Ed Bolton, Martin, Foy, halfway line, Ness Flowers, from Neath, Ness Flowers, plenty of Welsh followers that we have. Television Danny Campbell from New Zealand. And a nice kick in the chase by full-back Fairbank. Insisting when I saw the run there by the full-back Fairbairn that if a player kicks 5 goals in this competition today, he gets a £500, and he's kicked 1, 2, 3, 4. So another goal will be worth £500. And a penalty. Fairbairn, after having talked about the £500, it's rather interesting that he's going to take a shot at goal. Kicked 4 goals, 6th attempt. Fairbairn. The State Express Challenge Cup still undecided in this first match. Plenty tomorrow. First final was in 1897 when Batley beat St Helens 10 points to 3. This is the 79th year of the competition, and how well it's going. Fairbairn to kick, 4 goals so far. The score, Hull Kingston Rovers leading 16 points to 11. Watch the kick and the kick. I would say no after having looked at the flags, making sure. It was what I call a flapper. Mike Smith in possession. John Millington. Well, a competition got off to a good start, a good match, and still plenty can happen, despite the fact it's 4 tries to 1. It's the margin of points at the end that count. Phil Hogan. Millwater getting knocked back by the force, looking in desperation. What hit me? Hagar, one of the halfbacks, not playing today, injured. But he's looking a little, as he does, there's a little scrum off or standoff. And looking down there, the Wigan have switched the half back. And they've got number 6. Going to, and the penalty against Les Bolton, just as he'd been moved, and just a little bit of feeling coming into it, but then it is a Rugby League Challenge Cup match. Roger Millward on the ground with the referee. Pointing where, there he is. Cliff Wallace attending to him. Been in the ward, I've seen Millward play ever since he was a young lad in the Castleford area, and he's been a very, very fine footballer and a credit to the game. Remember him scoring a great try to win the Ashes in Australia in 1970. We're back to the nitty-gritties, 16 points to 11. 15 minutes gone, and it would still be unwise to start to forecast. Hey, Holstock. It's interesting about the LKR team because both subs were forward, but they have a man who can go up with Hogan there who can play centre if needs be. I don't know whether it's the right colours of the jersey, but certainly looks Hull Kingston seem to be the heavier and bigger side. Steve Hartley, ball loose, play on. Not a knock on. It's 6 tackles allowed now. The crowd don't like it, and the supporters, but here's a chance for Phil Lowe, and it's a forward pass. Well, it was a whole stock to Lowe effort. Lowe enjoying this match, running well as he does. Had a little bit of problem with the club, but however is in the match. Bolton is playing scrum half. Flowers have gone to stand off. Obviously, I don't say this is the reason, but Ness Flowers is settling down well into rugby league football, but halfbacks in rugby league and rugby union have a much different job to do. Steve Braheen is regarded as probably the strongest prop forward in the game. Very, very tough, strong, hard-running player. Dennis Boyd. Not a knock on, knock sideways. There's Ness Flowers. Big Barlin Casey, £35,000 worth tackling him. Don't know what it will mean to him, but nevertheless. Wigan trying to get back into this match. Scrums 8-7 to Hull Kingston. Settling up. There's a lot of good work for amateur rugby league football. Taken quickly. Wigan fans are noted for their knowledge of good rugby. They're hoping something's going to come out of this. They've been rather quiet for a little while, but 16-11 and a penalty against Dennis Boyd, who didn't like it at all, and the looks and the words and the crowd, at least the Wigan crowd, don't agree with him. There's no doubt that's what he's given. A penalty to Abbott to take. Well, there have been some great matches on this ground, great players. The great Jim Sullivan was here, of course, and Johnny Ring, Danny Hurcombe, and revive a lot of American. I know people write, particularly from the south, to say, well, what happened to so-and-so? But Hogan's got it. Ray Price, Holstock. I wonder how much this tackling constantly is going to show strength being sapped from the defenders. Nice inside pass. Steve Layton. 16 points to 11. Phil Lowe using as much of the ground as they can. John Millington. Half-back Steve Hartley. And the referee in the midst is going on. There's a bit of a scrap going on just to the right there. And it's Boyd and Lowe, and I think there's only one answer to that. They'll be in for the early bath. Dennis Boyd and Phil Lowe is going off. Phil Lowe is going off. Don't say it's going to open up again. Phyllis Lowe. Well, see what happened in this, and the man who was going through was Hartley, and then they developed on the left and on the right, but it was the one on the right that the referee talked to the man concerned So Boyd and Lowe, as we predicted, was the one who's gone to the dressing room. So it's rather unfortunate with that, because it was one of those things that, with tension being as it is, rose quickly, but wasn't subdued quickly. 21 minutes gone. Wigan 11, Kingston over 16. And the Wigan crowd are now showing their feelings. Wembley on May 3rd. We'll see the final this weekend. Is the start of the cup, the trophy, and of course big money. Nice break. And a penalty for not getting back. Chance for 2 points, which will really open it up again. 22 minutes gone, and everything's happening in this match. The 2 players sent off. They all share one big bath here at Wigan, so I wonder what they're talking about now. Well, this should be a reasonable, easy chance for a 5th goal. And it's £500 for the man who does it. George Fairbairn is the man who is kicking, takes his time. Yes! And it brings down the margin to one of 3 points, 16-13. So 17 minutes to go. It's a cup tie with a vengeance. Scottish viewers who are interested in Fairbairn has really settled down to playing rugby league. 2 footballs when they only need 1. Now this is of course where the artistry and experience of the fellow restarting Millward to hold his team together. Fairbairn. Strong man, Steve O'Neill. Widnes Rugby Union Football Club. Tapping for the ball. Fairbairn coming about it on a kick, and he does this sort of thing well. Could be in trouble, could help Kingston. At the moment, Steve Layton did well to get into that, but it was a little grubber. Holstock. Corelius on the right. Most of the running is straight up and down stuff at the moment, using the big heavy men. David Hall, 6 tackle. Mancasey. Nice dummy. Getting the ball in. All right. Not. The referee's blown up. I thought it was probably a little premature then, but however, it blew the whistle, the game stops, and on comes Cliff Wallace. But he does, well, in fact, we've got both Mills and Wallace on the field. Wallace goes off, Mills stays on, attending to fullback, George Fairbairn. 15 minutes to go, so let's just recap of this stage with 16 points to 13, 5 tries against 1, and yet just to try the margin, and the goal kicker supreme so far. Only 1 point for a drop goal. There's Bolton. And sarcastic cheers from the Rovers fans. Great days on Humberside, rugby league football. Unfortunately, Hull City not in the same position. Good tackle. Everything is being cheered now by the opposition. Hogan. Casey. The Blues of Wigan to the red and white of Hull Kingston Rovers, the Robins. Still coming forward, still making progress. Nestler seems to be enjoying his switch and managing the heavy ground. And bags of time to win or lose this match. It's going to be a very active one. Trevor Stockley. 13 minutes to go, second half. Stockley, who got the only try for Wigan, very much in prominent. Ed Bolton, Martin Foy. Oh, got it passing nicely, a little kick. And a penalty given. We've got a player injured. Glenn Casey getting attention on the left and play being held up. Penalties 9-8, been very similar in penalties, and of course position, which is fairly straightforward on both sides. Glenn Casey. Move from Bradford, I said that earlier just in case you didn't hear me, and the margin 3 points. Actually started with Hull, did Casey, and then with Hull Kingston, and then to Bradford, and now back to the Rovers. Travelled around, the boy. I don't think we've got to the stage where we said the next try will decide, or next score will decide. Well, we're not a long way off that. And it's what they call very hard rugby at the moment. It's a long one, but there's such a lot of Blues coming across. Phil Hogan. The cover there, the best of the Robins in this last quarter of an hour or so, and the penalty, assuming that the ball was pulled out, and we've got the sub coming on, which is Rose, Paul Rose for Hogan. Well, Hogan has been working very, very hard. And this is a chance for a fresh face in a fresh jersey. Hubbard kicking. 30 minutes gone, 10 minutes. They're all vital goal kicks now. Hubbard kicking, first penalty. No goal. It is a goal, it is a goal. It is a goal. And Churches very late in putting it up, but it's up. 13 points to 18. Wigan 13, Hull Kingston 8. Well, it would appear there's going to be a subs used for Wigan. 9 minutes to go plus injury time before this match is definitely settled, and it isn't necessarily so at this moment. 18 points to 13, margin of 5 and the home team in possession. And one or two players are showing their disgust, but wisely they're doing it away from the referee. And just about everything's happening here with changes unexpected and subs. Corelius coming off, that's Corelius. And Nanine coming on, and Kiss coming on, and Foy going off. So if you can sort that one out, we'll try it again too. Number 14, Kiss has come on. Number 15, Nanine has come on, and off goes Corelius and Foy. 8 minutes to go. Fresh face, fresh ideas, hopeful, and this a penalty. Dagan is running it out, feeling for obstruction. He was probably right, but the referee wasn't saying anything, so you've got to go on with the football. And Wigan putting a grandstand effort into this match. But then an opening, Nanine, 3 yards short. Nanine, great attack, and well thrown back. Wall of defence, but Wigan on the attack. And 6 tackle coming up. Roll the ball slowly, full back. A nice kick, deep. Vigo, is he going to be there? No, he isn't. Clive Sullivan, with his experience, knocked it out. Vigo was on the job. Not seen much of him, actually, in this match. We've seen him before. Let's have a look at this again, because it was put over the shot by Fairbairn. Vigo, before he got there, the clever work of Clive Sullivan saved that moment, but Vigo in the 2 jersey could be the match winner. Not a good one, a bad one in fact. Reminding you that 18 points to 13. 4 tries to 1, 6 minutes to go. Wigan 13, Kingston Rovers 18. Going on the short side. Nicky Kiss. Kiss comes from Saddleworth, a nice one, and it could be there first unless he goes over, and it's beaten all of them. Trevor Stockley has been so much in the match, almost got another. He got the only try that Wigan have scored. Ray Holstock. I'm sure such as Holstock